So we've gotten quite a few new LEGO Star Wars 2027 set leaks since I made my last video a few weeks ago, and these new leaks are interesting to say the least. I honestly have mixed feelings on them because they're just different, let's put it that way. But there are 6 new sets that have leaked, which I'm going to go over in this video. And on top of that, every 18 plus display set next year is supposed to include a Star Wars movie poster printed on a 6x8 tile. As of now, we don't know the location of all of them, but we do know which sets at least 6 of them are going to come in, and I will mention them as we go throughout this video. But jumping right into it, the first one is actually a January set, so I guess there's one that they missed. And the reason I say that is because, as you guys know, a few weeks ago I put out a video going over every LEGO Star Wars January 2027 set, because at the time I guess we thought we knew all of them already, but it turns out I guess there's one more, and it's going to be 75495, a concept art Stormtrooper helmet for a price of $70 US, and its printed Star Wars poster piece on a 6x8 tile is actually going to be from Rogue One, so that's kind of exciting. But the set is basically going to be a helmet set of the concept art Stormtrooper design, which is this picture right here. And to be honest, I don't really have much to say about this one. I do like how LEGO is working with the concept art stuff, especially making them anniversary figures. However, making one of them into a $70 helmet set is a bit of a different story. Personally, I'm not sure if this is a very good idea. I'm not sure if it's going to look good. I'm not sure how many people are going to like it. I doubt many people are going to like it, actually. I mean, I think it would have just been better to have the concept art Stormtrooper an anniversary figure and not make it into a $70 set. That's kind of crazy. The next one is going to be 75477, a Star Wars minifigure vignette for $70 US, releasing in April. And the minifigures are going to be Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, and then an anniversary figure that's supposed to be the concept art version of C-3PO. And well, as you can see, this concept art version of C-3PO is very uncanny looking, to say the least, and it's going to be very interesting to see this as an actual LEGO figure. But back to the actual set, if you don't know what a vignette is, in the context of what this is going to be, it's kind of hard to explain. But basically, kind of like what you're seeing on screen right now, it's just going to be like a row of scenes that are almost going to be like dioramas, but they're more so going to be like backdrops, if that makes sense. If you Google LEGO Star Wars vignette, there's actually some pretty good mocks people have made, like these ones right here from the Skywalker saga. So basically, kind of just imagine this, but they're all going to be connected, and the 3 scenes they're going to be representing are going to be Endor, Hoth, and Tatooine. I'm not really sure which figure is going to go in which scene. Tatooine will probably obviously be Farm Boy Luke, but then I guess Princess Leia might be in the Hoth one, and then Darth Vader, I guess, in the Endor one with the Death Star in the background, because if you look here, it says there's also going to be background builds, that being the Death Star, Millennium Falcon, and an X-Wing and TIE Fighter. So yeah, aside from Luke probably going in Tatooine, I don't know where Darth Vader and Leia are going to go. Not like it really matters that much, but I mean, I'm just kind of speaking out of curiosity right now. But regardless, for $70, I think this could be a solid set. The C-3PO, again, is going to be really interesting to see. I just hope it's not really small and feels super overpriced. If they make each section actually pretty intricate and detailed, I think it'll be a good set. The next one is going to be 75467, a brick-built Episode 4 poster, specifically this poster right here, and along with this set being a brick-built poster of A New Hope, the 6x8 printed tile poster in this set is also supposed to be a New Hope poster. I'm not sure if it'll be the same one or not. I assume it probably will be, but still, we're basically getting 2 A New Hope posters in one set. And at surface level, this is definitely really cool because this is just an awesome looking poster, but unfortunately, I think it's just going to end up being one of those mural sets that's made out of all the different colored studs, and to my knowledge, those sets are not very popular for obvious reasons. They're extremely tedious to build, and if this set turns out to be one of those style sets, I just don't think it's going to be very popular. But if it's brick built, on the other hand, like the Star Wars logo made out of actual pieces, that will be a different story. And I'd also be really curious to see how they'd pull it off if it's actually brick built, because the poster is obviously very detailed, especially the X-Wings in the background. I feel like that would be near impossible to pull off with just bricks. So the likely scenario is that it's just a mural set made out of studs and nobody's really going to care about it. But if it's an actual brick built set, I think it'll be really cool. Moving on though, the next one is one that I'm personally really excited for. It's set number 75468, and it's going to be called George Lucas Tribute, and it's pretty much just going to be a diorama style set of the filming of A New Hope on Tatooine, releasing on April 1st, and it's supposed to include a 6x8 tile of a Return of the Jedi poster. So pretty much if you just Google behind the scenes images of A New Hope and look at the Tatooine ones, it's basically going to be a diorama of this image right here, and it's going to include a young George Lucas, a cameraman, and a boom mic operator, which hopefully is this dude right here in the pink shorts. That would be really funny. Along with Farm Boy Luke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, R2-D2, and C-3PO. And the builds are obviously going to be the base of the diorama, so I imagine just some type of Tatooine landscape with the black border around it, along with a moisture evaporator and a behind-the-scenes version of the land speeder, meaning that it's going to basically be on wheels and have mirrors on either side of it at the bottom. Because if you don't know, that's the method they used to make it look like it was floating in the movie. So yeah, overall, this set just seems very interesting to me. Since it is a diorama, I have a feeling it's probably going to be pretty expensive. I mean, I imagine this thing is going to be, I hate to say this, but at least $80. But I just think the idea in general is really cool, and also it's the set that we're getting George Lucas in. Now, it is supposed to be the young George Lucas minifigure, which is great, but that does bring up the question of, is LEGO going to make an old George Lucas minifigure? Because I think that when most people think of a LEGO George Lucas minifigure, they usually think of the old one and not the young one. So that does make me wonder if we're also going to get an old George Lucas minifigure next year alongside this young one, or if LEGO is just going to wait to make an old one in future years down the road. I don't really know. But again, I do have to say, as cool as a young one is, I think most people would prefer an older version of him. Next up is the most interesting set on this list, to say the least. That's actually kind of a light way to put it. It's a really strange sounding set. I think it could either be really, really good, or it might end up being a bust. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But it's going to be 75469, a Star Wars movie theater releasing on April 1st with a price of $200 US. And based on this description you're seeing right here, it's going to be a large Chinese theater inspired build with a sidewalk, ticket counter, and line of people outside. And the minifigures, or I guess the line of people outside, are supposed to be like Star Wars fans and Star Wars cosplayers. It's supposed to be someone dressed as C-3PO, a Stormtrooper, a Jedi, and then 4 fans that I guess aren't cosplayers. And it will have an interior and a large Episode 1 and Episode 4 poster out front that can be swapped with the posters from the other sets. And as you can see here, it's also not going to be a modular building because apparently it's not on a base plate. So basically, from what I'm understanding, it's going to be a large playset theater build. I guess the style of playset you could compare it to is the Yavin 4 from 2023, except obviously not a Yavin 4 build, it's going to be a theater build. And I have to be honest, I think the idea for this set is actually really cool sounding. I've seen tons of people hating on this, saying they don't want this set, they just want normal Star Wars sets, which is definitely valid. I mean, obviously a real-life Star Wars movie theater is not the first set on people's wanted list. Most of us just want normal sets instead. But again, I do have to say, I think the idea for this is really interesting, and it's all just going to come down to how LEGO executes this set. It's got potential to be a really big flop, but it's also got potential to be really cool. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But anyways though, moving on, last but certainly not least, we actually now know 2027's May 1st UCS set, and it's actually a set I predicted 2 years ago back in 2024, that being 75475, a UCS Darth Vader's TIE Advanced for $240. And its printed movie poster tile is going to be Attack of the Clones. And not to glaze myself too much here, but 2 years ago back in 2024, I made a video trying to predict what I thought was going to be every LEGO Star Wars UCS set for the next 5 years. And for May of 2027, I actually predicted Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. And now we know that that's actually happening. So yeah, I guess I'm just patting myself on the back there. But as for the actual set goes, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have much to say about it. I think it's gonna be great. LEGO has a really good track record with these UCS starfighters. They're all extremely high quality and very, very detailed, and I'm not gonna expect anything less with this one. I do have to say, I hope they do a better job on the cockpit design than they did with the TIE Interceptor for 2024. But other than that minor concern, I think this is gonna be a really amazing set, and it's also just a really overdue UCS set too. The last and first one we got was 20 years ago back in 2006. So because of that, I am very, very excited for this new one. Anyways though guys, that is all the new sets that we know so far, but there is still one thing I gotta quickly mention, and that is that the printed movie poster tile for episode 5 is apparently going to be coming in the Darth Vader art set. And the reason I waited until the end of the video to talk about this is because we've actually known about this set for a while. I've talked about it in my past 2027 leak videos, but now we got a little update on it, and that's that it's going to be including an episode 5 poster. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these new leaks down in the comments below. If you are new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see the link on screen right now.